What's going on, everybody? Can you guys hear me? We are excited to get started today. It's always great to have all of you guys tune in. Welcome, everybody to uh, another edition of the Bank Statement Show, and we're gonna have a great time together. So I'm excited to be able to really kind of spend the next, I want to say hour or so to be able to discuss different things. My name is Mbongo. I'm part of the Banks team. I'm here with Mr. Banks as well, who is going to be my co-host. So guys, go ahead and share this. If you're watching the replay, make sure you watch all the way through. Today's going to be interesting. We're going to have some interesting topics we're going to be discussing. We also have a giveaway that for someone to be able to win. We're doing a 50 USDC giveaway at the end, so make sure you tune in until the end. But it's going to be good. It's going to be good because we're discussing several things that are both on financial education, but also a little bit of pop culture. So big shout out to all of you guys. I see a couple of my regulars in the room. So big shout out to you guys for tuning in as well. So that's going to be awesome. Make sure you share, make sure you comment, make sure you retweet the room. Let's get as many people as possible to tune in as well. I think it's going to be a great time together. I am here with my co-host, Mr. Banks. Mr. Banks, can you hear me? I want to double check to make sure that Mr. Banks is hearing me there. Mr. Banks, I see you. You're there. You're in the building. I think for some reason, I think your mic is not turned on. So double check with that there. Oh, I think I heard you. Let me see. I think he's coming on. It's coming on. While Mr. Banks is coming on, big shout out to some of you guys. I see the Emperors in the building. I see Jack in the building. Ken, big shout out to you. PT003. Karina, I see you. James, Ethan, Carl. I think that's my star. I think that's who I see over there. I see as well. Boy Stats, I see you there. Jack, I see you as well. I believe that's Jack. And I'm not sure who else I see there. I see Johnson, Kulex, the entity as well. That I see over there as well. So a big shout out to you guys. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to make sure that, we get started here. I think one thing that's going to be exciting to see, would be for all of you guys, if you haven't yet, I'm looking here. Okay. We got a couple retweets. Let's get more retweet in the room. Let's retweet the room so as many people come in, before we get started. So today, hold on, let me make sure, we are good to go here. All right, cool. So what I'll talk about is the perspective of, especially for us as both content creators, but also business owners as part of the Raw Banks team. For those of you guys who've been with us since the beginning, we always try to make sure that we are super transparent so you guys know what's going on with us, but at the same time as well, you kind of know as we're going long term. So this week, oh, by the way, Mr. Banks, how are you?
I'm doing great.
All right. So Mr. Banks is in the building as well. So you get a chance to tune in. But I was thinking about this, Mr. Banks. As I was thinking about what to talk about during the show. We always like to talk about finance. We always like to talk about money, financial education. It's part of who we are. But also content is about who we are. I think a lot of you guys will maybe describe yourself as content creators or people who love content, who are about content. And, there was a story that came earlier. So I remember my family and I remember my wife and I and a couple of friends, we were glued in our TV. I think it was around like February or March watching Beast Games. So Beast Games, for those who do not know, is a tele-reality competition show that was created by Jimmy Donaldson. For those who do not know, that's Mr. Beast. I guess the biggest YouTuber in the world. And I don't know about you, but like games where people win money, so it was like, oh my God, you get a chance to win $100,000, right?
And then Mr. Beast give away $1 million in the first episode.
Yeah. Hard to compete with that, right?
Hard to compete. The guy was like, you get a chance to win $10 million. I was like, what? So Mr. Beast is some other level kind of stuff. And I wanted to talk about Mr. Beast specifically because, again, this is a financial show. So I saw an article talking about how Mr. Beast was essentially trying to raise $400 million out of $5 billion valuation. $5 billion with a B, yeah. Right? So, let's just say that, the guy is on some other level, man. He's different. So let's talk about that for a second. Okay. Before we get there, and I want to get the public's input on this, right? If you guys were a Mr. Beast position, right? Let me ask you this question, Mr. Bank, because you're here. What would you take? Let's say if you were going back in time, right? And let's say you want to start your own content creation, your own YouTube channel. What would you take? Would you take 1 million subscribers or would you take $1 million?
Oh,
right.
Wow.
1 million subscribers or $1 million. Which one would you take?
Well, I know too much now, but I would take the 1 million subscribers all day long.
Okay.
All day long.
You're saying no to the cash.
No to the cash.
No to the cash. Say no to $1 million. That's crazy. Yeah. So what about you guys, in the audience? I want you guys to know, right? Would you take the $1 million or the 1 million subscribers? If you would take the subscribers, I want you to give me a heart. And if you were going to take the cash, I want you to give me a, let's just say, give me 100. If you're going to take the cash, give me 100. And if you're going to take the subs, give me a heart. So I can be able to see in the comment section here, what would you guys take? Would you take the 1 million subs or the 1 million subscribers? I can see. Okay. We got a couple, we got a couple 100s, right? People are taking the cash. They're like, hey, give me the cash. Forget the subs. Forget the subs. Oh, we see a couple hearts, right? I see a couple hearts. Okay. Some people are like, hey, I'll take the heart. Some people are like, okay. It's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag between the cash and the heart. So Mr. Banks, for the people who are thinking you're crazy by taking the subscribers, why would you take the 1 million subscribers over the cash?
Well, the cash is one time.
Right.
The subscribers are forever, right?
Okay.
So the value add for 1 million subscribers.
Right.
To be able to monetize those 1 million subscribers over my lifetime.
Right.
That million, I'm gonna 100x that million.
You're saying with maybe, well, I mean, obviously you could grow that 1 million sub, but you can probably.
I'm 100x my dollar, right? Mm-hmm. More than 1 million with 1 million subscribers. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, all right. So this begs the question. All right. I think you guys are seeing a little bit what we're going to discuss today. We're going to talk about content creation. We're going to talk about, a bunch of things, especially focusing on not the hype, but like actual tangible numbers and money. Cause this is the bank statement show, right? We got to look at the statement. What does it actually say? So before we go there, one question, Mr. Banks, when you're thinking about something like taking the subs, because, are you saying is you're looking at the long term in terms of how you can be able to monetize the audience, right? So the key is really not so much the money, but the power of leveraging the audience. Because we've seen celebrities with a lot of followers, maybe, right? Like you've seen like the girls on TikTok who do a bunch of dances. I don't know if they're making 1 million subscribers, right? I'm not talking about the OnlyFans girls, right? Because we've heard some of them make crazy money too.
They're making that $9.99 every month.
It's crazy, right? I'm not talking about them, right? I'm just talking about you want to do something super regular. Like, how would you say someone is going to be leveraging that audience? Because it's essentially what we're talking about, leveraging your audience over the instant cash.
Well, with 1 million subscribers, right? You're getting traditional type people who want to just advertise on your content.
Right.
Number one.
Right.
Number two, if you have anything you want to pitch.
That's true.
Right?
That's
to
true.
Monetize, from ebooks to products to additional services, that you want to market.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You have just with 1 million subscribers, that value is endless value right there.
Right. So that's really interesting. I would personally also do the million subscribers.
All right, good. We agree. Mbongo and I agree.
We agree on that. I would take the million subscribers as well every day, all day, like twice on Sunday.
Why don't we each take 500,000 subscribers and 500 cash? We'll split it.
We'll split the cash and the subs.
Yeah.
Oh man, circling back to the story about Mr. Beast, which I thought was interesting because I still remember, and for those of you guys like, who do we have any Mr. Beast fans in the building? I see the room filling up here. Do you have any Mr. Beast fan in the building? If you are a Mr. Beast fan, give me a heart in the chat so I can be able to see. If you watch Mr. Beast, you've watched some of his content. I mean, the guy is a phenomenon, right? I don't know how many subscribers that he had, but I think he's like maybe north of like 200-300 million. So one of the things that I always find fascinating with him is I remember watching him at the beginning. Well, I don't know if it was the beginning, but he was nowhere near where he is now when he was counting, right? Any of you guys remember Mr. Beast when he was just doing the counting videos, right? When he was just like 1 to 10,000, right? Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you just count.
I'm not even sure if I can do that.
But I guess that's what was really impressive, right? Because it took hours.
And I know I couldn't do it on video. And I'm not saying I can't count to 10,000. I'm just saying, like,
sit there
and just
count for hours
and talk to a screen,
right? In your room, like you went to some like mom's room or something crazy like that, and you were just counting.
Why don't you do it now?
Hey, if it brings us to 1 million subscribers, man, listen.
Yeah.
Mbongo is going to be gone.
I think our community helped us count. Why don't we all do a live stream? We just all count. We'll count for 36 hours.
We'll count for 36 hours, and you guys will share us so we can have the same success as Mr. Beast. I mean, the guy is really different, and I think that's something that speaks volume to the type of person that he is. So I wanted to speak about something like this, and I thought was really interesting was on a more serious note, especially when we're looking at the money side of it. And this is the part that I wanted to read. This is an article by, I think this was by, I want to say, Bloomberg. Bloomberg, they're a financial magazine. They produce a lot of things when it comes to money. So they wrote this article, and I thought this was interesting, right? It relates back to Mr. Beast and especially the Beast games. They said Prime Video, right, which is the company by Amazon that released the show. They said the Beast game was their most watched unscripted series ever. There was no other show that was seen as much as the Beast games, and Amazon committed $100 million to produce the first season. $100 million. And Mr. Beast actually went on a podcast, I think The Diary of a CEO, very, very popular podcast on YouTube. And as he was answering a question, he actually said that he lost tens of millions on the Beast games in terms of production.
Right.
So Amazon put in $100 million. He also puts it, we don't know how much money it is. It's not disclosed, but he said he lost tens of millions on the production of that show. His goal was, he says, I wanted to make season 1 as good as possible. Right. And then the story goes on to say that Amazon actually agreed to produce 2 additional seasons for $250 million.
Incredible. Yeah. It was worth losing that money the first year, right?
Right. Yeah. So super crazy. So that begs to ask the question, and this is maybe where I want us to go a little bit when it comes to like content creation. Is content creation a legitimate way for someone to create income in, let's say, 2026?
Yeah. I mean, 100%. 100%. I believe, if you were to rewind, when did he get started? He's been in 8 years now, you said? 8 years?
No, I think it's been longer. Yeah. I think just after, I think that.
YouTube is 2005.
Right. So they're about 20 years. Yeah. So, but he wasn't there like that. I think he got started like when I got started with YouTube. My first YouTube video was in 2012.
Yeah.
I think he's around that time.
I think right now, right, it's, we know some people, right, that have quit their good, Freeman Finance.
Right.
Right.
Shout out to Michael.
Yeah, shout out. But, he's quitting a full-time job as an engineer.
Right.
Right. Now he's been doing it part-time for a long time.
Right.
But, that transition from part-time to full-time, and you got 2 kids, a wife, right?
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
Right.
But now today, I think you have to treat it like we talk about. you have to be serious about your content creation.
Exactly. 100%.
You can put out a B product or a C product, and I believe you're going to get B and C results.
Right.
Because just like I think people who join in and listen to us, right, they don't get to see us yet. Maybe one day, right?
Right. It's an appliance.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think a lot of them come for the money, for the giveaway.
Right.
But I do think there's several that come back, and this is our 5th episode already.
Right.
They come back because they actually value some of the content and some of the things we talk about.
The information that we give away.
You get to know us, stuff like that.
Exactly.
But we put a lot of effort and time, like giving away $50. If whoever, $225, whoever wins that, if they properly invest that, you're going to 10x that, like with no problem.
Right. Or just take some of the tips we give you on the actual show, and with that $25 you do. Exactly.
Right. 100%. So to me, I love doing this every week. I know we went back and forth about doing it monthly or once a week. I love it. To be able to give back to the community who will sit here and listen to us talk and try to educate a little bit.
Right.
To give back and give them $200 back into the community every month to try to improve their life and their financial position. Man, what a blessing. Like, that's incredible.
That's true.
I enjoy that.
True.
But back on your topic. Yes. Do I think that, content creators can make a living? I believe if you're going to get up and treat it like a job, you can make a good living.
Hmm.
But I think a lot of people, like a lot of businesses, they think it's easy.
Yeah.
Right? They think they're just going to turn on the camera.
Right. I'm going to make one video.
It's
going to explode like Mr. Beast.
Right.
And then I'm going to
count backwards. Right. No, it's not going to work. Those days are over.
Those days are over. Counting videos won't work.
Yeah. But yes, I do. To answer your question in a shorter way, yes, I do believe that now, with good work ethic, willing to put in the time, and again, Mr. Beast, I didn't follow Mr. Beast like you and some others, early on. But I promise you, he didn't blow up the first day.
No.
He didn't blow up the second day, the second month.
No.
Right. So I think, everything comes, you gotta have some longevity.
Right.
You have to be willing to lose money to make money.
Even now that he's already like a decamillionaire, right? The valuation is at $5 billion. It's pretty crazy. But even at that, he's still willing to be able to be upside down with certain things in order to be able to make more money, right? By the way, I just want to make sure this is clear here because we always want to make sure that we have the right information for you guys. So Mr. Beast is not worth $5 billion, but that's the projected valuation of his companies and all his holdings, right?
So essentially, we want to kind of call it his market cap.
And market cap, exactly. We could say, that's the projection of whatever the market cap of all
his liquidity is not $5 billion.
No, liquidity is not $5 billion, right? Like in all crypto terms, right?
Right.
So the market cap, if all the investors, right? And by the way, these are private investors, right? So from the article that I read, he sat down with like really pretty high up people. I remember the article was saying that he sat down with people from investment firms like Alpha Wave Global and many others who participated in that as well in order to be able to raise. And I think the ask that he was asking was $400 million.
Wow.
It's going to be a multi-step series. $400 million. That's what essentially he was trying to be raising. So pretty fascinating of him to be able to raise that kind of level of money. And by the way, guys, this is a YouTuber. We're not talking about somebody who went to like Harvard or Stanford. This is not like Elon, right? Like, by the way, Elon just got $1 trillion package. He's on some other level. Yeah. But, we're not talking about someone who created like some like earth shattering technology, right? This is literally a guy who understands his niche as a content creator, who understands the power of like content and an audience, and essentially just take it and raise a $5 billion valuation, which is essentially like we're saying his market cap. So I think it's really, really fascinating. I wanted to kind of,
can I give you a Mr. Beast story?
Go ahead.
Yeah, let me,
go ahead.
Not to get us off topic.
Right.
But look, maybe we should take a road trip, right? A little short. Mr. Beast is less than an hour from where we are right now.
Right. That's crazy.
From where we are.
Would you guys want us to post pictures
and go see Mr. Beast?
I don't know if you'll let us in, but
we go knock on the door.
Or knock on the door.
He bought, just so you know, right? He actually bought an old church okay, and renovated it. And that is his studio.
That's
it has been in the studio for, I think, 7 years now, 6 years now. I think is when he did that one.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, it's 45 minutes. But my Mr. Beast story is my son was at ECU campus, right, where Mr. Beast showed up. Mr. Beast was walking around.
ECU is a university.
Yes. East Carolina University.
Right.
He was walking around campus. And if you followed him, he would go up to students. And if you were following him, he gave you $10,000.
If you subscribed to
his channel. If you were just subscribed to his channel.
Crazy.
He was handing out $10,000 a person.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I do. I got you. Mr. B, show it. And they'd be like, no, let me see your phone. No. But he gave, just in that few minutes he was walking to campus, he gave away $1 million. $1 million.
What?
Just $10,000 to kids. Just think about that. Now it was on a football Saturday or something like that. He gave away crazy money. So Mr. Beast, we might come see you.
we might come see you.
We might just come see you.
If you are connected to Mr. Beast in any other way, I know we're playing, but we're not really. If you're connected to Mr. Beast in any way, contact us, go to, hello or contact at banksonbase.com and write to us. We would love to be able to just sit down and talk with them, right? Or invite you to be part of the bank statement show. We talk about money, especially right now.
I think we'd blow up if we did that. If Mr. Beast would come see it.
That would be different.
Oh my God.
That would be different. We would use the mess out of that. But also, how do we?
All right. I bet you could give away more than $50.
It will be the most attended space we've ever done.
Yes, we might break space. So Elon might get mad. We drug everybody.
We drug everybody. Well, let me ask you a question, because you bring up something interesting, and I want to ask that, especially for like my content creators, those of you guys who are tuning in, and those of you guys who want to come in. I want to talk about, how do you attract someone like a Mr. Beast, right? Or how do you attract someone who's a high up content creator or KOL, if you are part of more of a crypto jargon, because I think that's sometimes the difficulty, right? Because I think a lot of these content creators, especially the big ones, the transaction always seems one-sided, right? You're only leveraging their popularity, right? What is their value? That's why they often don't care about you or your project. They just want the money, right? Because they know that you're only using them for their audience. So how does, let's say you are maybe a project or you're an individual, you want to get started, but you want to be mentored, you want to get close to a big person like that. What would be something, and I mean, this could be both, like I'm using Mr. Beast just because that's him we talk about, but it could be also like a business mentor, someone who maybe has made a lot of money. How do you approach people like that?
Well, I mean, one thing is, I think let's break it down into two different categories, right? Okay. Let's talk about kind of KOL, influencer,
right,
and then traditional business, right. And both of these, I believe, come with time, right? I always talk about time. You can't substitute, experience time, right, as far as your success goes. But you take the KOL. Let's take the KOL influencers. I think with influencers, they forget where they came from when they get big. Majority of them forget.
Gotcha.
In fact, if you go look at my post right now, on X, one of my posts, one or two down, I actually say, never forget where you come from. Mm-hmm. Because I think it's important. Because that's one thing I know that you and I, we've committed to each other as far as, building banks, building Onchain TV, regardless of the market cap, regardless if we're at 4,000 subscribers or 400,000 subscribers, we're going to continue to recognize people, for where they are. And so I believe that number one, I believe KOLs, influencers, kind of a sore subject to me because I reach out to a lot of them. A lot of them, they won't even respond with, hey, how are you?
Even if it's like a candid response, like something that they already copy paste, they just ignore you.
Yeah. Right. I had one just about 3 weeks ago, reach out, responded after 6 months. Took him 6 months to respond.
Right.
All he said back, and all I was asking him, hey, I was only I want to introduce banks to him.
Right.
6 months later, He doesn't say, hello, Mr. Banks. Thanks for the message. All he sends back, 2 ETH promo. That's it.
Send you his package.
Just 2 ETH promo. And so I think a lot of them, not all of them are like this.
Okay, so for my normies who are listening, what does that mean when you said 2 ETH promo? What
at the time, ETH was about $4,200. So that meant about $8,200 worth of ETH.
So he's saying, hey, send me $8,000.
I'll talk to you more
if you send me $8,000.
If you just send me $8,000. Now, the only thing he didn't do, respect, I guess, right? I guess if I can give him any respect, he didn't include his wallet. I guess he wanted to at least have another reason to respond.
Okay.
So I sent him a message back and then blocked him. So because you gotta be kidding me, right? What a clown.
Right.
So I think that a lot of people in that KOL influencer space, one, forget who they are. Two, they've lost touch with reality. Mm-hmm. They really think that their influence is Mr. Beast's power.
I see.
And no matter, so I think, but what your question was, what can a KOL, I believe that good KOL, good influencers should get to know someone on, if you're not set up to screen multiple people inquiring about, promos, collabs,
projects, right.
Whatever. Well, if you're trying to grow your business as an influencer from 10,000 to 100,000, you need to be prepared to scale too.
Right.
Because that means more money. 100 to 200 means more money for you. It means new audience.
Right.
Obviously.
Right.
I think that they need to be set up to scale. So have a screening process.
Right.
Right. Be able, just what we do, right, with the bank statement. Believe it or not, our audience is great.
Right.
They send us messages, on X and DMs all the time.
Right.
Especially after the show. We get messages like crazy from people. So saying thank you, this is cool, right? Keep it up. I mean, those are good things.
When you're talking about a screening process, like what could be a practical thing? Because I think there's two nuances, right? Because you're talking from the KOL to just projects. And I'm talking about from projects as well to KOLs. Because I think, like you said, a lot of projects get frustrated because they feel like KOLs play divas, right? They're too big. Is it maybe understandable though? Because I mean, they know that a lot of these projects don't really care about working with them. They just want their audience.
Yeah. And that's where I think you have to be careful as the influencer, right?
Right.
Or the person with the larger audience, right? I mean, we have a larger following than some KOLs,
That's
right?
True. That's true.
So, so I think it depends on who you are and who your audience really is. Mm-hmm. So a good example, right? Let me name drop one KOL that I have much respect for in the space. We've had them on co-hosting with us. We've had them on as a guest, had her on as a guest. Mm-hmm. Crypto Empress.
Right.
Right. She's a true professional.
We met her on Onchain Summit.
Yeah, we did meet her in San Francisco as well.
Right.
But prior to meeting her, I sent her a message. She responded. We got to communicate a little bit. She knew Freeman. She knew Michael.
Right.
But she didn't have a relationship with us. We've never paid her a nickel.
Right.
Right. She came on, co-hosted a show with us.
Great nuggets.
Great nuggets. Just a good professional.
Right.
Right. Didn't have to do any of that.
Right.
At the time, I believe we were sitting at like 1,800 subscribers. At the time, I believe she was sitting at 141 or something. 1,000.
Right.
So you see the leverage that, but she took the time to say, no, let me talk to you a little bit. I see your project. You're building something real. You're doing real things, trying to do real things in the space. She came and brought value with her to our space at the time.
Right.
So there are good people who actually take the time.
Right.
Right. And even to this day, I consider Crypto Empress a friend of the show, a friend of the bank's project and everything that we do. She's not an official partner of ours,
an ambassador
of any way, shape, or form, yet. Maybe one day, right? Maybe one day. But so I think, with that, you got to really want to be good in the space and not just look for a money grab. Because again, KOLs can rug pull you too. Think about it, right? KOLs can rug pull you.
Oh, now you're talking about if, for example, there is token exchange or
Token
something like
exchange.
that. They could dump on you as well.
Or, full transparency, right? We, as a bank's project, we've paid one KOL.
Right.
Freeman, Michael, Freeman from Freeman Finance, right? We paid him a long-term deal to promote with us, market with us. But it was really like we had a marketing partner.
Right.
Right. He got into our team calls with us, with our team. We've got a private chat with him, right? If something goes on in other communities, right? He kind of lets us know, hey, what's going on here.
Right.
So I really looked at him as a partner in what we were doing more than a KOL. But once I sent him the money, right, he didn't have to do all the extra stuff. He didn't necessarily, he could have, basically he's respected, but he could have just walked away.
That's true. He
could have done his few little videos and, just at the end, just half nonchalant. No. And to this day, he actually bought, just full for transparent. He still holds every token he's ever bought. 100%. Right. So that means he bought before we ever agreed to a deal.
Right. Before we send him money.
We ever sent him $1. He had already bought his bag.
Of banks.
Right. That he believed in who we were as a team, who we were as a project. And so that means he rode that. I don't know what we're at today, but he rode that from wherever he bought, which I think was sub 100K or a little over, all the way up to 2.5, didn't sell a token, and now has rode it all the way back down. That says something about someone, right? That A, they're either crazy, right? That they didn't take any profit, or two, that they truly believe in what you're trying to do,
right?
And want to stay loyal to the project,
right?
So full respect to Michael
Freeman Finance.
So if you're listening and you're a project, he's a great partner as well.
Right.
So there, did that answer the question on the KOL?
Yeah, well, to some degree, right? To some degree, because I think, to the KOL, they have to be respected, but I also want to know, how would you, because some people would say, okay, you are approaching the KOLs. What's the right perspective? I think there's also sometimes people have like the wrong perspective on the KOL. They think one KOL will just blow them up, right? I need to wait for the Mr. Beast type approach, or you're not even coming respectfully to a Mr. Beast. Or, this is before I transition to, should one also aspire to do the work that is going to be required when you work with the KOL, right? Because I think that's the other part. You just feel like, okay, the KOL is going to do their part, but the KOL can promote you. Like, let's say Mr. Beast promotes us, right, to hundreds of millions of people. Do you have the infrastructure ready to handle that kind of traffic?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, how do you handle working with a KOL like that? I remember there was a gentleman that was talking about how he gave $150,000 to Kim Kardashian to post a post, right? And he was saying, like, we knew Kim is big, right? For those who don't know, Kim Kardashian, super global star. I was going to say, like, she's into like different industries, but he paid her $150,000 for an Instagram post. So this was not for like multiples of, but $150K. He said she posted that post, and there was some deals like how long it should have been up, all that kind of stuff. But long story short, the sales from what I think they used to sell, like hygiene products. I think that's what they used to sell, hygiene products, like beauty and toothpaste and all that kind of stuff, like hygiene stuff. That single post brought them $7 million in revenue in perpetuity in a lifetime of that $150,000. But he said when they sent the money, it was really connected. It was really crazy because it ended up being that their site crashed. The first hour, they fixed it and it crashed again because of that much audience that came in.
Wow.
So a lot of people want to work with I know we joked around bringing Mr. Beast, but do we have the infrastructure ready for even the type of audience that would come with Mr. Beast? Why do you even ask? Like, some people say, okay, I just want you to promote. What does that mean? Not every KOL who's big should be promoting just random stuff. Right? Do you have enough product that would align with whatever that KOL is? Or is it just the fact that I have a big audience?
Right. And is your subscribers, is there a niche for them?
Right. Is it the right audience?
Is it the right audience?
Like his audience might be like a bunch of 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds.
But if you're selling makeup, you don't want an audience that are dog lovers. Right?
Exactly. Right. So now because, what's that? I forget that lady that every kid watch. She's like on YouTube. Do you guys know the lady on YouTube that every kid's left to watch? That she's like I forget her name. I forget her name. Like all the parents put her on TV for their kid. She has like millions of subscribers. I forget her name. But anyways, we're not going to go and advertise with her.
No.
Right? Like the majority of her audience,
they don't have a wallet.
Their age is 2. Like, you know what I mean? Like even though she has millions, right? The proper, like, it has to be like a symbiotic, right? Like it has to match it. And I think that's sometimes the wrong approach that a lot of us, when we're working with KOLs or people with influence, right? I do want to pivot a little bit, right? I do want to pivot a little bit. There's one more topic. By the way, guys, are you guys fine?
Did I answer the question?
There's one part of your question you still haven't answered, right? I want to make sure
you're moving topic. You didn't let me answer.
I do have 2 good topics for you later, but answer this one, right? Because I want to know if the person, let's say someone wants to work with the KOL. Let's say it's not a project. Let's say it's not even crypto. Just regular life, right? You want to be mentored by someone who already has maybe a larger audience than you. You want that person to teach you because often enough, you've known this, even being in business, you don't want to just help someone who just wants to be around, like a groupie, right? How does the person who needs help from the business mentor, the content creator mentor, does he or she approach that mentor in a way that's going to be valuable not only to them because they're getting all the knowledge and the nuggets and maybe some exposure, but how is the mentor also getting value?
How is the mentor getting value?
Right. Like, yeah, how do you approach the mentor so that it's also valuable both ways?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Right.
Right. I think the mentor has to continue to want to grow, to mentor someone, to have a mentee that they want to grow with, right, and give knowledge. Because really what a mentor is looking for, or someone, they're really looking for a legacy, right? And I know that's another whole topic, right? We can talk just legacy building.
Right.
But I believe when I say legacy, right, we're talking KOL, we're really looking at, okay, I want someone that's going to have the same characteristics that I do, right? They're going to go out here and
take it serious and do all that kind of stuff, right?
Act as a professional,
right?
Do those kind, and I think that you want that you get rewarded by seeing someone else be successful. I mean, honestly, I think because if they've already reached that, like just use Crypto Empress again, right? Just to go back to Crypto Empress, she coming on our space, she really had nothing to gain by coming on to our space. And I think she was on several times, I believe.
Right.
Twice. Yeah.
Right.
She had nothing really to gain from it. But I think at the end, for her is knowing that she put her name, her picture, her PFP on our marketing, on the space, knowing that we're a good project. We're good people. Now that's before we actually met her in person. Right. So I think that's the key, because there's really nothing that when you're looking at that level, right? Now I'm saying that they don't bring any value, because I can think of people who bring a lot of value, from a mentee-mentor relationship as well, but they're not necessarily the ones looking for the knowledge. They're the one providing the knowledge.
Right. So how would the mentee approach the mentor? Like what, because that's the part that's usually tricky. I think sometimes mentees don't approach mentors correctly. Right? Yeah. Because think about it, mentors are really busy, right? Like think about it. Us sitting down with Mr. Beast would take months, if not years of planning. Yeah.
Well, for me, as you know, I handle it for us, right? For the Banks Project, Onchain TV, and more. Primarily, I'm the one that handles it. I reach out to projects. One, I'm very humble, right? Even though I have a level of success in traditional business, nobody knows me in Web3. Nobody knows Mr. Banks. They just know us, oh, look, Mr. Banks has 500 subscribers, or Banks has 4,000, 3,000, whatever we have now. I think that, so when I approach, it's all about being humble, but confident, and expecting a return message. Because at the end of the day, they're also people. And I believe that if you don't want to come off as over cocky, but yet like in reality, right? Traditional business in person is a little bit different, but it's very similar. But when you can go belly to belly, to me, I'm a way better closer, or communicator belly to belly than I am like on a space or, trying to email somebody.
Right.
But so when I do that, I try to be very, very direct, very grateful and humble, very clear on my ask, right? And very thankful and grateful for their consideration. Because at the end, and then if they don't respond, I usually will send one more message and just to confirm, just to make sure they got it or not. And then I'm done. I usually move on. I don't, because unlike the clown who responded 6 months later wanting 2 ETH, I wouldn't have paid them 2 of your ETH, right? I mean, I wouldn't have paid them 0.0002 ETH, right? At this point,
right. Right.
So that's my take on it. I believe that you approach it because again, you just have to ask. You don't make any shots you don't take, right? I mean, we love basketball, right? So,
right.
If you're not shooting, you're not scoring.
Yeah, you're not going to have an opportunity to score.
Right.
Right. You might miss.
Right.
But if you don't shoot, you don't have the opportunity to score. Okay.
You're not looking for yourself in the box score, right? If you're not shooting.
Right. Right.
And I think that's kind of the approach you have to have. It's on them to tell you no in a non-responsive no.
Right.
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 Now, just because they respond doesn't mean it's a yes either.
That's true. That's true. That's true. And so, and I want to make sure that the audience can be able to get something valuable from this. So what you're saying is, one, you have to be humble, right? Because you're the one asking for their attention, their time, their promotion. Sometimes you might even come with money and they say no.
Absolutely.
Right? You might say, like, you come to a Mr. Beast and say, hey, we'll pay you, I don't know, $100,000, and they still decline it. Right? So it doesn't mean that because you're coming with money that they're obligated to work with you. Right? They might feel like, again, the brand doesn't align with who they are, what their audience, whatever the market fit. So that's really important as well. So you said you got to come humble, which is important. You also have to have a clear ask. What exactly are you asking? Right? And I think that's something that's very important. Be clear on what is it that you want this person to do. You've done the research. You're not coming over there for them to think about how they can help you. You got to already know, okay, hey, I'm coming to Mr. Beast. I'm coming to XYZ. I'm coming to a crypto empress. This is what I want you to do. If their process is simple, you need to be paying money, come with the money and be clear. Okay, this is what I want you to do. I like what you said. That's really important. So now let's pivot a little bit. I wanted to talk about, for those of you guys, if you're watching, if you're listening, and you're part of the space that we're in right now, you're part of the show, I wanted for you guys to let me know, for those of you guys who are maybe interested, okay, we got some new people in the building here. Big shout out to, I see El Tigre is in the building. Diamond is in the building. Big shout out to Favor is in the building. Carl Vine, Danowski, I think that's his word. I'd say that Base, big shout out the Base name right there. I see Luna. I see Alan. I see Coco. I see Goku. T-Boy in the building, Brian, Godfrey, Snake, Lemon, Lovely in the building, Adil, I think that's how you say that name, Richo in the name. I mean, there's so many of you guys. Zoya, I see Razor in the building, Koda in the building. Big shout out to all of you guys who are coming in. So my question, what I wanted to ask is, I wanted to know specifically.
Hey, you see Strong and Rich. Stronghold is in the building.
Stronghold in the building. Big shout out to Stronghold.
I see Rich in the building as well.
Yeah, so these are some of our good folks.
Friends there.
Friends from the Mr. Poggos. We're like ourselves one of our Poggos on base. We're like these guys, Mr. Poggos there. I wanted to ask you this question, and this is really interesting, especially for those of you guys who are interested in maybe looking at, should you go all in content for 2026? Right? We've been talking about finance. This is the bank statement show. So I want you guys to look at it from a financial standpoint. If you are going all in into content creation, because one of the things that I want you guys to know, if you are in crypto, if you are yourself, especially in the meme sector, you're really in the game of content. And this is something that we heard Jesse Pollock, creator of Base, talk about as well at Onchain Summit in San Francisco when we were there, is this idea of like a lot of people within the meme sector, you're really into content creation, right? So by the way, I'm not saying that I'm not talking about content creation strictly for crypto. I'm talking content creation in general, whether you're making videos on YouTube, on TikTok, whether you're an audio creator, and you're making spaces or you're doing audiobooks or whatever the case may be. or you were making our, commentary or reaction type stuff, or you're making faceless video using AI. There's so many ways to be able to do this. I wanted to kind of talk about what could be some practical stuff, right? Like maybe 5 tips that we can give someone who says, hey, I want to go all in on content. There was an article that I read that says content creation as of 2025, the content creation market is going to be worth from now to 2030, $250 billion. $250 billion. What does that mean? There's money to be made. There are people making the money, obviously, right? Like Mr. Beast by himself is going for a $5 billion valuation. But so there's money to be made. So what could someone who wants to go into content be able to do, right? So I'm going to start it off. One of the things that I think that's important for those of you guys who are listening, for those of you guys who are watching, you're thinking about content, you're thinking about going that route. I think one of the things that's important is I think it's important to pick a lane, to get good at your lane before you grow. I think a lot of people are spread too thin. Well, I remember we had a conversation earlier, I think a couple weeks ago, I want to say, with different content creators. We had, I remember, what's her name? Rachel Onchain was here with us. We had, Base Junkie was here with us as well. We had, Lemmy was with us. I forget her name. Liz was there with us. These were, content creators who are on the space, who are on our ecosystem with Base. And one of the things that we had the conversation was, on average, most content creators have about 4 to 5 different platforms that they're trying to post on. The thing with that is it becomes difficult to maintain, right? You got to be relevant on TikTok. You got to be relevant on X. You got to be relevant on YouTube. You got to be relevant on Facebook, on IG. And that takes a lot of focus.
Onchain TV.
On Onchain TV, if you want to post over there. I mean, that becomes really hard, right? If someone says, okay, that's going to be the case. And the statistics show that most content creators are only profitable on one platform. They're really only making money in one place. But you feel forced to go to all these different places. So my advice would be, if 2026 is a year you want to go all in on content, my advice is pick that lane. Right. Just focus on 1 or 2 max, right? If you have the bandwidth for that, focus on 1.
What do we call that?
Hyper-focus, right? Be hyper-focused on one particular, whether it's a platform or whether it's a genre. What do you want to talk about, right? Don't talk about dogs and money and crypto and the cooking. What? Like, pick what is that? It doesn't mean that you're one-dimensional. I just think it makes it easier for you to really find that audience, your niche. Okay, the audience that wants to hear about that, go to you, right? I would say pick that one lane, get good at that one thing that you do, right? I think some people have wrong expectation. They feel entitled to make a certain amount of money when they're not really good yet, right? Good is suggestive, right? I mean, you can, whatever, you might think you're good, but I'm saying that your audience might, they're the ones saying that you're good at that. And I think then you expand. So you hyper-focus into one place, you hyper-focus on becoming excellent at whatever that thing is, then you start to gradually expand, right? Expand could be that you do more of what you're doing, right? So you're doing a few videos a week, you're doing more. You do more shorts. Maybe you expand to a different platform. That would be my advice if someone wants to go into especially content creation for 2026, right? So for you, Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast in the house. Mr. Beast in the house. Well, Mr. Banks, we also have our Mr.
Our
Banks.
Mr.
Right, exactly. What would be an advice that you would give to someone who's trying to go into content creation for 2026?
Set a goal.
Okay.
Actually know what are you trying to do? What is your dollar goal?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Monetary, what's your monetary goal?
Right.
And actually, because if you don't set a goal, and don't be like, I want to make $10 million. No, I mean, it's got to be realistic, right? But the way I try to look at things is, what am I trying to replace, or what am I trying to increase, right? When I'm looking at an investment, if it's traditional, if it's digital, if it's a startup, whatever we're doing, what do I really look for? Right.
If you have a job, do you want to walk away from your job, right? You want to make enough so that you don't have to do a job.
Or do you want to start something to take care of your mortgage payment? Do you want to start something to take care of a car payment or a kid's school?
Right.
Like, actually set a goal that's attainable.
Right.
Right. With good effort.
Right. Because you might be making like $1,000 a month.
Right.
And someone will be like, oh, you're not retired over $1,000, but that takes away the burden.
Right.
that was there. Exactly.
Yeah. So to me, my number one would be just set a goal.
Okay.
Right. An attainable goal.
Right.
Not, because I'm guilty, in many years ago of setting really unreachable goals. And then you don't hit goal and you become discouraged halfway there because you're like, there's no way. I haven't done it in the first 6 months. There's no way I'm going to do it in the second 6 months. Right. So, and then maybe even do quarterly goals, right? To that equal up to your annual goal.
How do you break down your goals? Right? And I think we should have a whole section on goal setting, right?
Yeah.
Maybe for the end of the year, would you guys love to have a section on goal setting? Give me some thumbs up if you would. I think that would be good, right? Mr. Banks, you can talk a little bit about that. How do you set personally your goals?
Again, I think it depends. I look at everything from a quarterly position. Mm-hmm. For me, it's the best way we set our budget, right? In our traditional business as well, is we set quarterly goals in our quarterly projection, right? Mm-hmm. And then at the end of, then you ultimately look at your annual,
annual goal,
your annual goal,
right?
Sometimes, you don't hit your annual goal, right? Mm-hmm. But you've done very well through some quarters. You've exceeded some quarters. First quarter, you might have done better than your goal, but then you failed on your second quarter, failed on your third, but you exceeded your fourth.
It averages out.
It averages out where you're like, okay, I didn't hit goal, but I exceeded here in these 2 quarters, and then reevaluate that based on the micros and in the total economy, right? In traditional or the sentiment when if we're talking about crypto, the project, and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of how I set mine is quarterly, right? Because the more you look at how you want to set them and break them down, the more opportunities you have for success. One I look at our finances across business every day. Now I don't do any of the data entry or any of the necessarily the hard stuff. Every Monday morning, I get a statement on my desk of things that are being paid, things that are coming in, what to expect. And then every day I just it's one of the first things I do. And it's something I've continued to try to get better on. It's just actually have a finger on the pulse of the finances, both good and bad. And I think those are things that, for a success level, right? Because everyone's level of success is different, right? Our level might be different than some people, in this space. They might not be looking at such a high level of return right now, but in 3 years, they'll be looking at the same thing we are, right?
Right.
But I think you gotta be realistic, not over here in la la land.
It's a good point that you're saying. And I think even outside of it, just a monetary goal, I think even if from some success metrics you want to hit, I think comparison with the wrong metrics can be a quick decline, right? Like we have no business trying to compare ourselves to a Mr. Beast. It just makes no sense, right? Like comparing yourself to a Mr. Beast is just a sure way to be discouraged. It's a sure way for you to be frustrated because he's attained a certain level that it just doesn't make sense. Even in business and all that kind of stuff, there's no way for you to be able to compare yourself to what we're trying to do with banks, for example, we want to compare ourselves like, we want to do the same thing that the Solana Foundation or the ETH Foundation has done. I mean, there's completely different spectrums. I think, like you said, don't compare yourself to especially unicorns, right? Like people who are just outliers out there, right? They could be an inspiration, but it just don't let yourself fall under that comparison trap. I think you got to be very careful. Maybe one more advice I would give, and then I want you to give another advice. One more advice I would say is, master your craft. And I know it goes back to my first example of pick a lane and get great at it, and then you expand. I think mastery is lost. I think we're in a time right now where
mediocre is okay.
People, again, by the way, I'm not saying I'm not taking a shot. I'm not naming everybody. All I'm trying to say is that if you want to be, a lot of people thought that AI is going to come and is going to take everybody's job, right? By the way, I'm not part of the OpenAI team. I'm not part of XAI and all these different things. So I don't really know what their overall goal may be. But one thing I would tell you though, is that the jobs that usually go away the first are the jobs of people who are not trying to be excellent at what they do.
Yeah.
Even if your job might seem threatening, I think even when we talk about content creation, I said $250 billion, right? Up for grab in the content creation industry. It's a lot of money. But you will see that money is hyper concentrated to the few on the top who are excellent, who've cornered the market almost, right? It doesn't mean like I'm not one of those like, oh my God, you can't go through unless you're connected. Maybe okay, that used to be the case, but I think nowadays the difference is, are you willing to put in the work, to do the iteration, right? Going to the gym. Are you willing to, like some dude might be bigger and buffer and look crazy, but are you willing to put in the reps? Are you willing to do even when we talk about coaching, for basketball, because we do some coaching, we love basketball. And a lot of the young men that we train, they're not willing to put in the work, but they want you to be able to coach.
Because they don't make a shot or can't move your feet on defense. Right?
Like you want to be like Stephen Curry, who's a basketball player, by the way, one of the greatest 3-point shooters ever. But he tells you that he puts up 1,000 shots in practice, 1,000 shots.
And he's already been paid.
Right. He's making hundreds of millions, and he's telling you he's taking 1,000 shots every practice. 1,000 shots. By the way, for those of you guys who don't know basketball, that's a lot of shots.
That's a lot of shots.
That's a lot of shots. So if someone like that tells you that's what he does, you think you're going to compete with him after putting 100 shots?
No, sir.
There's no way. Right. He has no reps. So decide to be great. And what do I mean by that, right? And I want to say this, right? We're about to end soon. Big shout out to all of you guys who are tuning in. Oh man, the building's continue getting full. Big shout out to Big Brains. Lewis, I see you in the building. Blue Bunny? I don't know who that is.
Is that Bad Bunny?
It's not Bad. Not Bad Bunny. I think it's Blue Bunny. I don't know. But big shout out to whoever you are as well for tuning in. Big shout out to you. But one thing I wanted to say is, and I think this is important, is the dynamic of being great. And being great is something that someone has to do intentionally. And what I mean by that is being great might be as simple as you deciding to reinvest in yourself as a content creator, right? Like better lighting, or maybe you're deciding to get better at a certain craft that you do when it comes to, I don't know, like I'm thinking out loud, like better camera, investing in having a coach, someone that would tell you, okay, this is what you need to do in terms of your content, going to a conference, being part of a mastermind, or actually deciding to be intentional about like, okay, say the thing multiple times, review it, look it. How can I say this better? How can I do that better? I think a lot of the times and I'm not saying that you have to become someone that you're not. I think you just have to sharpen your tools, right? Decide to sharpen your tool to grow. I'm not saying you got to go back to school and get a degree, right? But would you be able to find a mentor and be able to say, you know what, whatever, sort of paying tens of thousands of dollars for an education, are you willing to pay the little bit of dollars that's required to gain information, to be around the proximity with that mentor that can be able to help you? So that's one thing I would say. The mastery part of it, I think, is often overlooked. People look at Mr. Beast, they're like, oh my God, he's naturally great. Not really. Like if you see
watch
the guy,
accounting videos, right?
Right. Like go watch the accounting videos, go watch those, right? I'm pretty sure a bunch of you guys are going to go watch the accounting videos of Mr. Beast. But if you look at it, he's just improved. He's just the iteration. Okay, how can I improve this part? How can I improve that part? I'll be honest with you. I want to give some flowers to Mr. Banks. When we started, I was telling him, you got to do more spaces, right? You got to get out there. Don't be afraid. I think at the beginning, he was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to sound good, right? I remember.
Yeah, no, I hate it. I might still hate it.
But you got much better.
Yeah.
You've gotten much better, right? So kudos to you on that. And
I hope so. If not, people are lying to me. Right? So I hope. I'm trying. That's all I can say. I'm trying to get better.
I think you are getting better, right? Like give Mr. Banks some heart in the chat, all right? So he knows that he's doing better. I can tell, right? From someone who's seen
any heart.
You don't see any hearts yet?
No one giving me a heart.
Nobody's giving him a heart. Give him some heart so he can be able to know that he's doing better.
They don't love me. I'm not doing better.
You're not doing as better as you thought you did. You get some hearts now. I think it was just delayed.
Okay.
But the point I was trying to say is like, you got to be willing to put in the work to get better. And I've seen you do the work again better. And some of it comes with repetition. You do one call to another call to another call. You do one video, you shoot another video. Like when I talk to some people on our team, I tell them all the time, like your video number 100 is going to be much better than video 1. That's just the fact. You're going to get better.
Yeah.
Understanding how to talk in front of the camera, your dexterity. Some people might like listen to me and be like, oh my God, like Mbongo speaks so well. How is he able to do that? That's 14 years of speaking. 14 years of speaking that, it's gotten to this point.
You've gotten better.
I've gotten better because of all these years of doing it.
You know what people say to me?
What?
Can we get Bongo? I said, no, you can't get Bongo.
You can't get Bongo. You got Mr.
Got Mr. Bat.
For sure.
But pretty soon they're going to request me.
Yeah, no, they're going to request you 100%. All right. So in ending, because we're about to come to an end.
Hey, can I do one little survey?
Yes, go ahead.
Before I just noticed that PT003 has left the building, unfortunately. And I wanted to say this while he's on here. If you have a creator coin, will you give us some hearts? If you have a creator coin on Zora, how about share some heart? I want to know that. One, want to support you guys, but two, want to know. I know PT0. There he is.
He's back. PT003. He's back.
PT003. I was talking about you.
Exactly.
I know. I hold a few of your creator tokens.
Yes.
What my question was here, I wanted to get a survey of other people in our space who's actually got a creator token on Zora. If you do, show some love. Let me see a heart. And then we'll go from there. So that's my quick commercial break. Just show some heart.
I see a couple of hearts. I see Mastar has one, so he has a creator token.
Okay.
The Tanazu, I think that's what it was, I think. And then PT003.
Yeah, he does. I actually support PT003, on his Zora creator. I like what he's doing, and he's just a great community supporter,
right?
For many.
So give us a heart if you have a creator token. I see James. I think it's
Jilly. I see Jilly.
Bar.
Okay.
Jilly as well there.
TEDx has a creator token. Good.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll go and make sure I show some love and do some support over there as well.
Right.
For some of these guys.
Follow you
guys. That's it. That was my little commercial break for now.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate it, guys. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Bank Statement Show. Our goal and our heart is simple. We want to make sure we create an environment where not only do we tell you what not to do, right? We don't want to be like your financial parents, but instead what we want to do is we want to be just a friendly community where you can be able to come and you can be able to learn about money. You can be able to have opportunities to build wealth. And we can do that together. I think that's really at the core heart of who we are as the Rob Banks family, the Rob Banks community. The Bank Statement Show is we do a lot of like real world commentary, but also some lessons. So hopefully you guys took some stuff. I know today was like very content creator heavy. But I think there's also some financial lessons we can learn about the success of someone like a Mr. Beast, the success of individuals who've put in the work, put in the time. Right. So one of the biggest takeaway that I'm really taking is pick a lane, decide to master something, become great at it, and then expand. Right. One thing that is a big takeaway for me from what Mr. Banks said was don't be afraid to go and ask the question. Be clear on what you want to ask. OK, don't be afraid to shoot your shot when it comes to getting those people to help you. Or if you want to work with a content creator or a KOL, be able to ask, know exactly how they're going to help you. Don't let them try to figure out how to help you. Know exactly how you want to help them. And if there's a financial transaction, be willing to invest in yourself because that's really what you're doing. You're investing in yourself. You're investing in your project. You're investing in your family's future. I think all those things is very, very important as we go. And then, I think we started by saying you want to take the 1 million subs over the $1 million.
Yes.
Because for sure, that could be a game changer for you, right? So, actually, you know what? Some people don't really think what we're saying it makes sense, but just to give you an idea, just easy math, if 10% of your audience, which is 100,000 people, went ahead and bought a $20 product that you're selling, it could be an ebook, a PDF, or whatever, something that you do for $20, you just made $2 million.
There you go.
But 10%. Right? So that already tells you that you can make way more money with the subscribers than you are with the dollars. So,
and that's not funny math. That's good math.
That's literally good math,
good
right?
Math. Right?
That's only with 10%, by the way.
Right.
So if you're extra great and you get 20% to do it, you're going to be very rich. So big shout out, guys. Make sure you follow us, on Onchain TV. Go to onchaintv.io. But those of you guys who are planning to be content creators for 2026, we want you to go to Onchain TV, and we want you to be able to subscribe and follow the content creators who are there, but we also want you to request to get a channel. Tell us why you should get a channel over there. We'll let you get a channel. Getting a channel is free. Creating an account is free. So go ahead and do so. Mr. Banks told you last week that you want to make sure that you create an account. We're extending it for another week for you to do so. For those who do so, we have a special surprise that we want to give to you, and you want to be, you be thankful that you did. We want to extend that for you to do so because there's something big coming up. We just celebrated 1 year of the Rob Banks project in the community. 1 year. So we're still a baby, man. We're just a year old. But we celebrate.
We're walking now, though. We're 1 year. We're walking.
We're walking a little bit. You know what I mean? We know what we want. We want to go.
Market cap doesn't walk with us yet, but it will.
But it will, right? So, by the way, think about it. Bitcoin is only 17 years old.
That's true.
Teenager, right?
That's
So we're all so early when it comes to the crypto market as a whole. But big shout out. Go to OnchainTV.io and go ahead and sign up. Create an account is completely free. Go and also share this and follow us on our X account and retweet this. For those of you guys who want to make sure that you win our $50 giveaway, there's going to be a pin post right after this. I want you to like, retweet, and tag 3 people. By the way, some people are like, oh my God, I didn't win. But you didn't do all the steps, right? So like the post.
You got to follow the instructions, right? Follow the instructions.
So you want to make sure you follow Rob Banks, right?
That's a given.
That's a given. Make sure you follow us, like that post, retweet the post, tag 3 people. Super simple. Don't tag us. Don't tag Mr. Banks. Don't tag Mbongo. Don't tag Banks, right? Tag other people, and then you get a chance to win, to be entered to win our giveaway. So, Mr. Banks, I know you have some stuff coming up. Can you let the people know a little bit about some of the things on your plate?
I'm going to keep it short, but I got 2 things I want to cover. The first one being, this Friday, we're doing a space with the project Broke on Base.
Hey.
That is going to be, it's at 2:00 Eastern. We're going to do another $50 giveaway, on that space as well.
Great folks at Broke.
Yes. We're going to have the lead dev. We are going to cover, some good stuff. And I believe the dev has some pretty good alpha to talk about as well. And the title to that is Rugs to Riches.
Rugs to Riches.
Rugs to Riches.
I like
is the
it.
title of that one.
We'll play on word.
So definitely listen.
So this Friday?
This Friday, 2:00 Eastern time.
Nice.
I know we'll get a visual out in the coming day or so.
Yes.
This Friday, 2:00. And here's my second one, right? I think I haven't done this before. This is our 5th episode, but I really feel like I need to do this, Mbongo.
Okay.
And it's not financial advice. Okay. But on Mr. Banks X channel, I changed my banner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I changed my banner and it says something big is coming soon. Right. Now we want to help people, right? That's our whole narrative, right?
Right.
Learn, earn, and build wealth together.
Right.
Guys, if you can afford $1 of banks, $10 of banks right now, you're going to come back. They're going to come back, Mbongo, and say, thank you, Mr. Banks, for telling me to buy $10 or $5. Not financial advice. Okay. But take my word on it. Okay?
Take his word.
Take my word.
On it.
So I don't usually do that. But it is the bank statement show.
Right.
And I figure I can do it once out of 5. And because I'm so excited about what's coming, what we're cooking. I know, there's going to be some people just on fire once we announce some things that are coming out. So we're going to give away this one. We're going to announce something so big pretty soon that it's just going to be incredible. So, all right, that's it. I'm going long.
Yeah, I was going to say this.
Yeah, I'm getting too far.
You almost dropped the alpha there.
Yeah.
But, and you just reminded me as well. I want to make sure that as you guys are tuning in, those who are listening to the replay, just understand that we want to make sure we give the best information, but also remember the Bank Statement Show is not intended to share any general information. It's not intended to share any financial information. All we're trying to do is we're trying to give you education and discussion purpose. So our goal is not to, replace any financial advisor or anything like that. We're not even trying to give you legal or tax advice.
Oh, we didn't read our disclaimer, did I do it?
That's what I'm trying to make sure,
okay.
Right? That they understand, right? Like we want to make sure that, don't misconstrue what we're trying to do,
saying.
Right? So please make sure you do your own research.
Our legal department will get on us if we don't say our disclaimer. Right?
I need to make sure I did the disclaimer, right? So please make sure that you do your own research, assess any risk, and also consult with a professional, right? Before you make any investment decisions based on the information you hear from us, right? Just know that by watching or listening to us, you agree that we're not responsible for any losses or action you take based on the content of this show, right? So by the way, guys, remember my bank statement for this show today is simple, is understand that content takes time, but time makes you better. And that's really the thing that's important for you to know. Not everything is overnight. Not everything is going to be right quick. Some things will take time for you to see the success. But if you're willing to put in the time, you will become better as a better person, a better friend, a better community member, and also better financially. And we can't wait to see you guys' success. Any closing words, Mr. Banks?
No. Look forward to next Tuesday doing the bank statement again.
Awesome.
This is exciting. I know we're going to have a great topic next week as well.
Exactly. We can't wait to see you guys. Take care. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.